go uninterrupted today. Shout out to Jacob Tanjay, Michael Beach of Life. I hope y'all on here. What's up, Michael Alexander? And all my members, thank y'all for your support. That's Jeff Ritada. What's up, Doubtful Genius, Ron Lawson, all my old heads. Any new viewers and subscribers watching, welcome. Because this live stream is really going to be for y'all, today. Anybody catching this on replay. What's up, Blizzard Abroad, Mr. Passport King? Peso is 58.33. Still up there. Retired 2019. What's up, Angelo? Thank y'all for joining us. We always have a topic. Is what advice would you give to the new man and woman coming to the Philippines? That's what we want to do. We want to help the new man and woman who's either coming here or is over here now. And we don't want to, if you've never been overseas, we don't want to hear from you. We don't want to hear the armchair bros and the barbershop bros today. We trying to help people today. We don't want anybody's, opinion. We want somebody who's been there and done that overseas. What's up, Chief? Critical Morals. He says, don't be naive. Hey, Matt Bassett, I guess you're still in Alabama. If you're doing 25 miles a day, which that's not easy. I'd like to see anybody watching this live stream do that. It sounds like a small amount. Man, 25 miles is a long way to walk. He said, don't be gullible. Well, I'm just saying some real things, guys, some tangible stuff. Don't be gullible. That's just not anything that's going to help them. What's up? Narish Puri says, hello, Calvin and Sunshine Shoulders crew. He said, I'm visiting Philippines next week, taking an early retirement after a very careful evaluation. Well, that's good. Pat Doc, 88. Rashad said, Unc, what's good? Don't let these trolls get you with that Thailand is better talk today. Well, they don't get me anyway. All that's relevant. Just be happy where you are. That's what I was saying before the live stream went up yesterday, Rashad. People can't do that. We always got to one-up each other. And it's just part of our nature, especially if you're from the West. And a lot of times it's just reassuring themselves that they made the right decision. That's all. They're insecure because somebody who's secure in their decision doesn't have to prove anything to anybody. I'm here. What's up, Larry Lindsay? I see y'all. Rule number 1 is the key. Angelo said, Cal, I'm leaving for Thailand today for a few days, man. Bravo, man. That's right out of my video yesterday. About, some options that you have in living in the Philippines. If you get bored, hell, you're not far away. Thailand is what? They say 3 hours, but that's gate to gate. I wasn't in the air 3 hours. Probably about 2 hours and 30 minutes, to be honest with you. Yeah, he's going to have a good time, but he's been there before. But it was 2010 or something? A lot's changed. Yeah, he said he's going with the girlfriend. Yeah, that'll make it even better. Once I get my passport renewed and see, I'm waiting on this election. Because if Trump is elected, I'm going to get it done over here. If Kamala Harris is elected, I may still get it done over here. But if Trump wins for sure, I'm not going over there. It has nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the rise of those ignorant fools that follow him and revel in his victory. They're already on TV already. You saw the guy on CNN. He got banished forever with all that foolishness. I just don't want that. What's up, M. Smith? I see y'all. He said, sorry for going off topic. He said, my advice is that bring a knife to restaurants and keep a few tissues, toilet paper, and soap if possible when going out. He said, I'm thinking about moving to Baguio, anyone in the neighborhood. I know what times he travels, that's where he usually stays. His girlfriend and her family live up there. If he's on here today, he may be able to help you and give you some advice. He says, are there any sundown towns in the Philippines? Yeah, go to Bazilan. Lamitan, Bazilan. You don't want to be there after dark. Holo Salu, the bad areas, that's all. But it's very few compared to the size of the Philippines. I mean, it's easy to avoid those places. And that would be a good piece of advice for a young man or woman coming here for the first time. Avoid the bad areas. I mean, do your research, know where you can go, and don't really have to be too worried or too concerned. He says, Sammy Davis says, like you've always said, stay single. Don't move a woman in with you. Don't start a business, and don't buy a house or condo. Stay flexible. Stay in or close to a city with an immigration office. Now, that's a good one. Because either way it goes, where I am now, I'm 2 hours away from, well, 2.5 on that damn bus from Bacolod, and 5 hours away from Dumaguete for the immigration. But yeah, that's a good one. You know, I was talking about the bubble cities, man. You know, and everybody's talking about, yo, well, if you move to one of them bubble cities, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Well, you get what you pay for. I always bring that up. That's no matter where you live. If you want to be cheap over here, guess what? You're going to end up moving in a bad neighborhood where you wake up and there's trash, there's roosters and all that. Poverty all around you. Okay? But you get what you pay for, and it's not that much more expensive. It's going to save you on taxi rides and all that stuff. Everything is right there. You know, when I first went to Moncton, Newtown, I didn't put it together. I'm like, wow, this place is so far away. Who would want to live here? But now you don't have to go anywhere. You just stay there. Everything's right there. If you get bored, you can always go somewhere else. But for my money, man, if I'm new and I'm thinking about coming over here for a little while, I'm going to the bubble city, man. I was chatting with Arkeo today. He lives in IT Park. He followed that advice. He likes it over there. He's hanging out with a real estate guy who says, I can get you a house if you want. He said, but you're not going to be able to hang out with us and everything like that. It's not going to be IT Park. And he said, man, I'm staying. Because they always talk about the infrastructure over here. That's what people who don't know what they're talking about. There's places in the Philippines, a lot of places, where you can go and the infrastructure is going to rival where you live now. Love and Freedom, him and his wife, they travel the globe together. He reminded me, he said, Cal, there's Eastwood City in Quezon City. He said, that's a bubble city. See, I didn't even know about that. Mega World in Bacolod. There's another place in Iloilo. Man, these bubble cities are popping up in the Philippines, man. You know, what's up, Hollywood, baby? What's up, Golden Gate? He said, Sammy Davis, what's the name of your club? I think he closed his club now. He was having some trouble with the owner, and you know how that goes, guys, but I believe he's partnering in on another club. Is that right? He said, Internet Explorer says, I'm ready to say the Sexpet prayer. Someone help me recite it, please. He says, buying a condo a good idea in the Philippines? Well, you know, I would wait, man. I would wait till all this pogo stuff passes over, because according to a lot of people who are in the know, that's what's driving the prices up. That's what's making condos so expensive over here. because they're very expensive here compared to Southeast Asia and other places, certainly Thailand. He said, just LA, know what side of town you're on. Yeah, that's true. Sammy Davis says, travel to as many cities as you can before you settle down. At least 3 or 4. And make sure they're all in Expat Alley, man. Do not go outside that Expat Alley, guys. Y'all don't know how big of a suggestion that is until you get here. See, the armchair bros, they're I'm going to move to the province. You're not, first of all, you're not coming over here. Second of all, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't want to move straight from New York City to the province. You got to have a rude awakening. You can have a damn piece. You can have a 15 in that province, man. That shit going to get old real quick. Okay? And you're going to be a sitting duck. If anybody wants to, give you some problems. Harry Shoulder says, I'm watching the show and cooking a piece of goat meat tonight. Wow, in the slow cooker. How long is that going to take? Hey, Greg, he says, greetings from Montana. He said, home of the nervous sheep, hoping to make a trip there around February. Try to stay a month or two. Come on, man. I'm trying to think, I was in Wyoming. And I believe we flew into, I'm trying to think, where did we fly into? And then we had to take a long van ride. We were working on the Sinclair oil refinery somewhere in Wyoming. And man, it was like, you ever watch the Road Running Coyote? That's what it looks like, man. It's beautiful though. He said, Angelo Habib says, I know this advice has been given many times, but don't sell everything in your house before trying it out first. I'm extremely glad I didn't sell my house at home. Yeah, that's a great idea. And I'm going to piggyback off that because everybody says, when I say, hey, man, move around. Don't live here permanently. Every 3 or 4 months, go somewhere else. They said, oh, who wants to be moving around all the time? Man, 90 days is a long time. Okay, that's not 3 weeks. You're talking 3 months. And then if you like where you are so much, who says you have to leave in 90 days? Stay longer. But I'm saying don't live here permanently. Be flexible, like Sammy said. But to say that, oh, you don't want to be packing up and moving everything in 90 days, you didn't watch the video then. The video says have as little possessions as possible over here. Move into a furnished apartment. All you're going to leave out with is your luggage that you came with. Hopefully. What are you buying over here? Hey, Dixon Victor, thanks for that super sticker. And welcome to the live stream. That's all I'm saying. TJ does it all the time. And man, they got all kind of stuff. But they think 90 days is a walk in the park. Man, 90 days is a long time. More time that you've been away from home probably in your whole entire life. Jerome Smart said, don't meet the family too soon, especially if there's kids involved. What do you mean with kids involved? You mean her kids or what? He says, I'm in Kalispell. He said, my uncle was a professor at the college there years ago. He's a retired plumber. Ron Lawson said, hey, Cal, what's considered reasonable price in Atchee Park? Well, a friend of mine, Anthony, he was living in Avita Towers. He had a studio. It was 21,000 pesos per month. That's not even $400 right now. I mean, if you by yourself, that's all you need, man. I believe he was on the 22nd floor. I visited him before. When me and Marilyn, we were going, I forgot where we were going. Cagayan de Oro, I believe. Yeah. We were going to Cagayan de Oro. We stopped over there. But he lives in Thailand now. He moved to Thailand. But yeah, I would say about 20,000. You could probably get something cheap. I mean, it's a lot of condominiums in Cebu. Cebu Business Park, IT Park. But yeah, about 20,000. You know, you're talking what, $350 or something. But you get what you pay for. I mean, you're right there in an entertainment district. You don't have to go anywhere, man. And for you tough guys who says, I don't have a problem meeting women in person, well, that's going to give you thousands and thousands of choices. There's something like 30 or 40,000 people that work in IT Park. So, you know, it's like a wide open dating scene. I mean, a dating app, an open air dating app. Mahi says never get involved with single moms. That's a good piece of advice, really. You know, to be honest, it's a good piece of advice for somebody new coming over here. I'm a grizzled veteran, man. I've dated them both. The woman I ended up marrying was a single woman. She had no kids when I met her. And I've been with single mothers before. But it's just something that if you want to be flexible, then that's something that you're going to have to keep in mind. He said you must be a citizen to buy property. No, not a condo. That's not true. You can even buy cars and motorcycles over here. You don't have to be a citizen to buy property. You can open up a bank account here without being a citizen of the Philippines. I know I've got one. Kevin Warren said, Calvin, I'll be arriving in Thailand Friday. Do you have a scheduled date for your next meet and greet? No, I'm thinking maybe either late November or early December. I'm going to see what we can come up with. Angelo says, I was in Eastwood City. I liked it for those 2 days I was there. Very small bubble, though. Several streets, maybe. Yeah, I just hadn't heard of Eastwood City. But I mean, the number one argument you get from these Thailanders and places is the infrastructure. The infrastructure in these bubble cities, man, is no less than anything I saw in Thailand. It's on the same par. That's all I'm saying. We're talking about people coming here to the Philippines for the first time. I think it's a good option, to be honest with you. He said, Cal should do his next meet and greet Diddy style. He said, good day. What's up, Doolin May? Lawrence Weaver says, go to Thailand instead. Why? Tell me why should we go to Thailand? With the air quality, the water quality, the flooding, and all of that. And if you're happy in Thailand, then stay in Thailand. Don't try to burst our bubble over here. Just be happy wherever you are. You don't have to come over here and say, oh, what's so good about Thailand? You guys over there dating bar girls and stuff. We want real women over here. John says, come to Paranaque. I did hear about that. What's up, S1 Philly Vibes? But remember, people say, oh, you know, this is the best place. We can go to Thailand too, Lawrence. My thing is, don't live anywhere permanently. If you don't think 90 days in a spot is a long time, man, you've never been away from home for 90 days. It's a long time. Then you go to Thailand for 90 days. And if you don't like it, well, now you go to Vietnam. Just make that circle. My buddy Coach Jay, he came here for 4 months. He went to 7 countries. That's what you really want to do. Until you really find a spot. Like, okay, well, I done fell in love with this place or whatever it is. I'm sold on this. I don't have to go anywhere else. But if you knew and you saying I'm coming to the Philippines, I'm making a beeline there. I'm saying open up your mind a little bit to the new man and woman. Sammy Davis said, yep, I'm working on something else with a few other expats. There was too much drama with the Filipino partner and the landlord. And that'll happen over here. Rayshard Smith said, people who talk about infrastructure are armchair bros who look at Vietnam War movies with no motivation to ever travel. Absolutely 100% agreeable. No one comes to the Philippines for the infrastructure. And let me remind you that you fly into the Philippines. That's part of the infrastructure. If they didn't have an infrastructure, you wouldn't be able to fly into this place. Y'all think that the Philippines is uninhabitable or something. You let these, these architect bros is what I call them. I like to call them. You're going around inspecting infrastructures. You're basically talking about Thailand is more modern than the Philippines. But I say you're insensitive and you don't know what you're talking about. It's like comparing oranges to potatoes. Did you see the big tropical severe storm that just raged through here, Lawrence? Killed 100 people, displaced millions of people. Billions of pesos in damage. The Philippines can't recover like Thailand and some of these other places. So why even compare them? I don't know. You say, can you own guns there? No. As a foreigner, you can't own a firearm in the Philippines. But I wouldn't be anywhere. Can you own a firearm in Thailand? I wouldn't be anywhere where if I thought I needed a firearm, Blue Arc, I wouldn't be here. He says, what time to travel? Some guy was asking about Baguio. Maybe you can give us some information. He says, I'm not arguing raising my blood pressure over what country is better, Thailand or Philippines, with armchair bros who never been overseas. Yeah, who really cares, man? If you're happy, be happy. You can have it all, man. Thailand is only a hop, skip, and a jump from here. That's all I'm saying. I can go over there and enjoy what they're enjoying and then be back in the Philippines. But everybody wants to one-up you. What's up, Brandon Rayford? Kay says, do you pick a woman with a career or a woman who would depend on you in the Philippines? I just turned 30. What is your preference? I mean, more than likely, you're going to get your woman on the dating site. So, I mean, there's women over here. Merlin's a professional woman, man. She's a bookkeeper with a college graduate. But she didn't earn a whole lot of money. I mean, so I don't understand. You certainly want somebody intelligent. I mean, you don't want to be, I don't care what a woman looks like. I don't want a dummy. I want some type of conversation. I want to be bringing something to the table. I mean, because that gets old. But as far as a professional woman, nurses over here, they start out at about, $500 a month. A nurse. But I believe a woman's more than just her education, man. There's some women over here are sharp as a tack, but their family just didn't have the money to send them to college. But, that's going to be on you. What's up, True Jeefy? He said, what's good, rubber lip? Hey, don't watch these guys. I was going to put, the next time I may just have subscriber only comment, because, you got guys like these. Man, these are grown men, by the way. Let's give them their 5 minutes of fame and show them how stupid they are. I mean, really. You're not going to say that into nobody's face, man. You guys are tough hiding behind your damn computer screen. Grow up, man. Get him off of here. Nobody got time for that. We're trying to help people today. Y'all immature as hell. William Warren said, I used to work in the oil field as well. Greg Durling, thank you for that super sticker. I love the John. Welcome to the chat. He said, good morning, evening, everyone from the hamster wheel. Yeah. Lex Will said, Cal, have you been to the Butuan area? I have. That's part of the expat alley. But I would live in Butuan. I wouldn't live anywhere outside of there. I've got a friend, though, who's over here now. He lives in the province he said about 20 to 30 minutes away. And I suggested to him, I said, look, man, you're new here. And of course, he's got his woman. She lives in the province. And I'm saying, get your feet wet first. Because they got the SM Mall and all of that. They got the airport there. You can fly. It's only like a 35-minute flight to Cebu. You can go to Manila and all those places. Butuan. I don't know if they have a bubble city, but a lot of these cities now have these bubble city developments, man. It was a genius idea. I often remind y'all, man, that there's genius all over the planet. It didn't skip the Philippines, man. People have their thinking caps on over here. They hear what y'all saying about the infrastructure and all that. But when you go to these places, man, it's like you're at home, really, man. There's no difference in IT Park, man, than some places I've been, some of these fancy places. I'm really impressed by it, man. I mean, I don't care. Nobody else might. I think for myself, I really enjoy being in IT Park. Jerome Smart said her kids. Okay, what do you mean you don't want to get too bonded with her children? Billy Goat says, hey, Cal, I would tell newbies to pick up at least 200 US in pesos. So when you land, you don't have to exchange money in the airport. Most international flights get in at midnight in Cebu. Yeah, that's good information. And if you can't get that money before you come, I would say just exchange about $100 max at the airport, because they're going to bust your head. Even though I was listening to Asia Now, he said he just arrived in the Philippines. It was 58 at the airport. I don't know what that's all about, but that's what he said. Usually they get you for 3 or 4 pesos per dollar. Hey, Lawrence, thanks for that super chat. He said, Cal, IT Park and Moncton Newtown, are they in Cebu? They are. Now, Moncton is not in Metro Cebu. It's across the bridge, Moncton Island. That's where you fly into, Lawrence. You're going to fly into Moncton. So if you've got a place in Moncton, Newtown, I guess it's about a 20-minute, depending on what time you get in. If you get in at midnight, like Billy Goat said, then it's probably going to be about a 10 or 15-minute ride to Moncton, Newtown from the airport. But IT Park, you land, you're in Moncton. You got to cross the bridge. So it's about a 35-minute ride. Maybe not that far at night, but certainly during the day. Strange Way says, a good advice to keep mobile and don't be too quick to put down roots. But isn't that also a pricey option? Would you need to adjust your budget? Well, I talked about that because all these places over here, believe it or not, Thailand, that's one good thing I liked about Thailand. You get more value for your money over there. I didn't know that. That was a surprise to me. Actually, somebody told me that the day before I left. He said, Cal, one thing you're going to notice when you get to Thailand, he said, your money's going to go farther. And I was like, how could it go any farther? But it does. And remember, if you plan ahead, Strange Ways, if I'm going to be in the Philippines for 90 days and I know I'm going to Thailand in 90 days, first of all, my budget's going to go down. My cost of living is going to go down. But if I go ahead and, buy my flight ticket 3 months ahead, the tickets are already cheap as hell already. It's not going to add too much to your budget. And if you can't afford to do it, don't do it. It's just a suggestion. But it's not going to add too much to your budget. And remember, 90 days is a long time, and it gives you enough time, in my opinion, to scout your surroundings and see, hey, is this for me? Because if we flew into Bangkok. We're really not Bangkok, man. You're far away from the airport. But we had Mr. Lee. So if you're going to somewhere like this for the new man and woman, if you can afford it and you can hire a driver or somebody like that, I would. It's easier, in my opinion, to do that. Especially if you're going to someplace like Thailand, man. You're way away from the airport. And Jeffrey Taylor, they hooked us up with Mr. Lee. He was sitting there waiting. But you're far away. I believe you're like 28 kilometers away. But it's not going to adjust your budget too much. You know, you got what you got. If you're single, and you're mobile, you're flexible, you don't have any baggage. You know what I'm saying? $2,000 a month, you can live anywhere. You can do anything you want to do over here in Southeast Asia. You're not gonna have a problem. I mean, I met a guy. His profile name is Tour Jacket, and me and him used to go back and forth on my in my comments before. And then he ran into me one time in Cebu. He was shocked to see me. I'm in there in Seattle. I think I forgot the name of that place. Seattle something. You know, it's a restaurant in there, Yalamao. He's like, I'm Tour Jacket. And we've been cool ever since. But he lives in, he goes back and forth between Malaysia and Cebu. And he's not on, we're the same age. So he's going to draw his Social Security same time I am. It's just, it's low budget over here, man. I would live below my means. I wouldn't throw any money away. The more money you save, the more options you have. You never know what's going to happen in the future. There's no sense in coming over and blowing every damn thing. He said 21,000 pesos sounds good. It is good to live in IT Park, man. Look, where we were, me and Marilyn stayed in Avita Tower 2. We could walk right to I had breakfast with one of my subscribers. He's a friend now. It's called the Brown Cup, man. The food was delicious. But it's all kind of restaurants. Other condos, just businesses, malls, grocery store, everything you need, nightlife. It's right there. You don't have to go anywhere, man. You sit down at the Coffee Bean, have a cup of coffee, just people watch. And then if you're right there. So if you want to go somewhere, here's all the taxis coming back and forth. I'll grab you, get a grab. Frank Ellis said, that's what I'm going to do, a studio in Cebu. I think it's a good idea. Ron Lawson said, you have to put down a deposit, or could I just stay there for 1 month? Yeah, you would have to negotiate that. If you're just going to stay 1 month, why not just do it through Airbnb then? And message the owner and say, hey, would you give me a long-term deal? Because if you plan on staying in an Airbnb, it's usually per day. So it's usually going to be a little bit more expensive. Like Arkeo, I think he said he's paying $24 a day. So for 30 days, what's that, $720? But I told him, which he didn't do it, or I told him after the fact, they have a long-term deal. Every Airbnb does. You got to message the owner though. Or when you're in Airbnb, where it says how long you're going to stay, it's going to have an option of 14 plus days. And then you're going to see how much the monthly rate is. Man, some of the places are cheap, man. Because that's what I was doing for him. I was checking for him. $4.95 for the whole month. Doing Airbnb, I mean no deposit or anything. All your utilities paid for. That's everything included. He said a studio it's fine if you're going to be laying in bed the whole time you're inside. But here's the thing, though, Angelo. A lot of people, we don't stay inside. That's why I don't spend a lot of money on hotels, especially when I go to somewhere like the Philippines. I'm outside, man. I'm in the beach. I'm sightseeing. I come back to go to sleep, to shit, shower, and shave. And then normally, like the last one me and Marilyn stayed in Cebu, had a big comfortable bed and a big screen right in front of you. And then over to the side, you got, your cabinets and everything, your cooking stuff. And then it had like this right there. It's plenty of room to move around. But I mean, like this house, for instance, I spend most of my time in my room. But I'm outside normally. Like right after this, I'm going to the gym the minute this is over. What's up, Golden Medal? He said, sounds good, Cal. I always thought it was perfection for the lookers. Yeah, that's where all the beautiful people are. In places like that. Sweet Susie 007, get them off of here. We got some more children on here. Dolomay says that Lex Wheel Butuan is an expat city. Beautiful women, 3 malls, 3 major hospitals, and an airport. Yeah, he can't go wrong there as long as he stays there. Link 1111 says, hey, Cal, side request, and my apologies for off topic. However, I'm doing an art project, and there was a video you made when you went to see your son in the mountains, their foliage and wood crafts. I don't understand what your question is. He said, bed is a good place to be. He said, can you show me where that video is? I like to use the scenery for a reference to style the vegetation from that video if possible. Yeah, it's called I think it's called, well, put my email up, Jacob Chanje, for link 111. Email me and then I'll send you the link. I'll go through that. But I'm thinking it's talking about reunion, back together again or something like that with my son. Because during the lockdown, it was right after the lockdowns that I went up there. He says, coming from the West, he says, stop in the PI first, then hit Thailand and find your fit. Yeah, and all the other places, it's not just Thailand over here. We're forgetting about Bali. I don't know how we forget about that. We're forgetting about Malaysia. It's Vietnam sitting there, Da Nang, man. If you guys aren't hip to Da Nang, man, you better get hip to Da Nang. Go on YouTube and watch it. And then start your research from there. It's not just Thailand and the Philippines, man. This Southeast Asia, man, and Cambodia. We're not even talking about Cambodia. What's up, T. Williams? Yeah, he said every country has a negative and positive. Yeah, they think that Thailand is a utopia, man. It's foolish, man. You guys are crazy. If it checks off all the boxes for you, good. Stay there. But don't rain on my parade and tell me where I'm living is no good. That don't make sense to me. Come on, I say, yeah, nowhere is utopia. Quit making a damn competition out of everything. Right. I don't understand it, but we got to one-up each other. He wants to reassure himself he made the right decision. Well, just stand on your business, man. You did. You there now. Be happy. Just be happy wherever you are. But let's talk about, okay, Arkeel said, here's what he said. He said, Cal, I watched your video about it's too late for me. He said, but you didn't tell the guys not to lick the kitty. He said, not to give the woman oral sex. He says, now I can't get rid of this woman. There's a lot of truth to that. Even though, that wouldn't be something I would tell the new man and woman, but he's telling the absolute truth. When you push the button like that, man, you think she's clingy. You think you got problems. You'll never get rid of her because I think we've made the Filipino man up his game as far as in the bedroom because they wasn't getting that, and they wasn't. If they were, it wasn't being done right. And you come over here and you do that, man, you're gonna enter a whole different realm. Juice says, "Hey, what's up, brother Cal? Is Bubble City a new term? Yes, it's something I made up because it's all inclusive. You never have to leave if you don't want to. You can just stay there. IT Park, okay, if you want entertainment, the casino's right across the road. I'm just saying, you don't have to gamble in those casinos. Before the pandemic, man, they had some of the best boxing matches every Friday. It was only $5, about 250 pesos to get in. But you're right there in La Hogue anyway. That's another little entertainment place. You can catch the cab right there. Well, really, you only have to catch a cab. You can go to the transportation, center in IT Park and catch a bus to the tops. That tourist attraction. And then as you come down, stop at Temple Alea, the Towers Temple. You don't even have to go anywhere. You can catch the bus right there. It's 200 pesos. Where we used to hire a taxi for 1,500 to 2,000 pesos to take us up there. Now, you're in IT Park, they've got a transportation center where all the buses and the new jeepneys, not them old jeepneys, the new ones, come. You just go over there and tell them where you're going. Man, these bubble cities is off the chain, man. I wish I'd have knew about them long ago. Angelo Habib says, travel around, as Calvin says, but it may be a problem if you're in a relationship already. Yeah, but see, that's what we're saying. We're saying hindsight is always 20/20, Angelo. A lot of men aren't going to choose to be single. It's just a suggestion. I'm saying, look, if you first come over here, be single, man. Keep your options open, flexible. It don't mean being a player. It just means that, and you can bear witness to this, when you got a girlfriend, it's going to be a problem. A committed relationship because you're committed to her. You know, it's unthinking of me to say, Marilyn, I think I'm going to Malaysia next week. Let's stay here and take care of the kids. Could I do that? Yeah, but I wouldn't do that. It'd be insensitive of me to do that. That's why I say, you know, when you first get over here, stay single. Because you could actually have a girlfriend here. See, Angelo, your girlfriend has her own place. You want her with you. She got her own place. You could spend as much time together as you need to, and then at the end of the night, she goes home. Or, okay, stay with me on the weekends. And if she needs you to help her financially, you can help her and take care of her without her living with you. Now you don't have a problem. There's a lot of guys who are doing that over here. For what reason, I don't know. Because some guy says, oh, no, it's not an option for me. He says, because I want my sex on demand. I said, okay. But some guys, they got prostate problems. They can't get it up anymore. That's not a thing for them. And other reasons. Some men have more control than others. But whatever it is, there's a lot of men over here who are living by themselves and can come and go as they please. Rashad says, it's a lot of call takers. You mean, call center agents from T-Mobile and other companies in the field, such nice people, and helpful. But a lot of them are in IT Park. What's up, Cisco International? He said, wow, that's a clear picture, Cal. Looks good. Hey, thanks, man. I got a new phone. I had to. My other phone crashed on me, man. Here it is. I let Booby read it sometime. But remember, I just got this fixed. and I dropped it again. So I knew it was time for me to get another one. I love LaChon said, pocket watches, dick watches, now architecture watches. Yeah. Who comes to a country and inspects the infrastructure? Come on, guys. You don't come to the Philippines for the infrastructure. You come here for her structure. If that's what you're going to do. That's the only structure you should be inspecting. Infrastructure. I've never heard so much bullshit, man, till I got online. He said, how the storage facilities in the fields? What do you mean? Raymond says, I like the Philippines. It makes it easier to live and stay. It has one of the best visa options. You can focus on the poverty. I like to focus on the positive and the beauty. Exactly. They act like Thailand doesn't have poverty. It's just out of sight, out of mind. It's there. Why do you think all those women on Soy 6 and Walking Street? If the economy was so booming and everybody was rich and all of that. They don't understand. Yeah, hit the likes, folks. Thanks, Johnny S. Johnny S came here. He said, yeah, good advice for the new man or woman tonight. Why? Leave a comment. Yeah, we want to hear from people who've either traveled to the Philippines or traveled overseas. No armchair bros or barbershop bros. We don't want that, your opinions on here, what you think and all that. Because they are the ones that got all the advice. Bumping their damn gums. Captain Kirk says, can you talk about Davao again? Thanks, man. Well, Angelo's on here. He lives in Davao. I've only hit and miss in Davao. I like it because, you know, I'm an older guy. But everything I need is in Davao. And what makes it even better, Captain, is they've got Samoa Island 8 minutes away. It's not like Sapaway Island that we have 8 minutes away here. No, that Samoa Island is really a nice place. That's probably where I would live if I was in Davao. Because you're still in Davao. You're 8 minutes away. But they really have white sand beaches over there. And, you know, I would live there. But Davao has the malls and everything like that. Of course, the international airport. I like Davao. Davao was Dumaguete before Dumaguete was.
This is my Hello Kitty chair.
I didn't see it. Look in there and see, did you bring it in there? I think you brought it out there. Look at all the toys you got on the ground. But that's where everybody, when I started coming over in 2009, that's where everybody was. They weren't in Dumaguete. They were in Davao. You know, Dumaguete was nothing then. But, you know, one thing I wrote in my comments, man, don't get into any drama with the locals. You should have very little contact with the locals, really, unless you know, patronizing their businesses and stuff like that. There's no way, man. But that's the risk you take when you move out into the province. Okay? You may move next door. You can't choose your neighbors. Because the guy who put out that video, he said something about they were throwing water or something on the other side of his fence or something they were doing. And he got into it. They disrespected his wife and he slammed the guy and, you know, and all that. And then the son ended up with a busted head. I don't want that, man. I don't know if he's welcome back in the Philippines. If I was him, I certainly would not go back there. And he done already built a big house. I mean, it's his money, his life. I wouldn't go back there. Because they don't play fair over here, man. You don't know, you're in a different culture. You don't know how they're going to handle that. You think you're in America where they're going to let it go. Okay, well, I just took an ass whooping. Well, they may not, you know, solve that like, you know, like you think they are over here. It may cost you your life.
Daddy, answer right.
You want what?
Sunlight.
Huh?
Sunlight the comb.
I don't know what. Well, speak in English. Where is it? You gotta ask Merlin. He says, I live in Butuan City. It's a 3-hour drive to Kagwait, White Sand Beach. 3-hour drive to Kabuyan Island. 3-hour drive to Mabuhay, Pebble Beach. And you know, you're 35 minutes by plane from Cebu. He says, Elijah Van Warmer said, I respect Cal's opinion because he speaks the truth, the real nitty gritty. Glad to have someone to hear the truth from. Yeah, we're just trying to help people, Elijah. I just give you what I got, man. You know, people, it's too much at stake, man. People are really trying to escape. They really looking at their options, man. I'm not going to be on here bullshitting nobody because you're eventually going to come over here anyway, and my credibility's shot. People come over here all the time, man. You know the first thing they tell me, man, you wasn't lying. Or they see that I'm living the life that I talk about. Because that's really all we got is credibility. That's all I got is my reputation. That's why it really bothers me. I don't show it. And sometimes I wish I could reach through the screen and choke some of these trolls, you know, when they, you know, trample on my good name, man. I'm not a saint or anything. But I'm not over here scamming anybody or doing anything like that. I don't work like that. I don't live like that. Dixon Victor says, I was in BGC. It was nice. It's nice, man. You know, you're going to pay a little bit more, but you get what you pay for. I'd rather pay a little extra and have that peace of mind than karaoke machines blaring and all that. Roosters crowing and, you know. You don't want that to be your first impression of a city when you first come over here. You want to make your landing as soft as possible. People don't understand how important that is for a place like the Philippines. You need to take some of this advice we're giving you and use it. Because the guy who did that video, it's a lot of people watching that video. He did everything wrong, man. It's as if he never watched a video on YouTube before. And he really wanted to stay. He got married and everything like that, but he made every mistake you could make. I'm hoping that you don't make those kind of mistakes. His video is going to help a lot of people, though, because they're going to say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. He did a lot of shit wrong, man. But he's honest enough to talk about it, to help y'all. Come on, Danny Kim, man. Well, look, I got my woman over here right now on a G-string. I'm not stressed out. I got a stress reliever. What about you? It's my style. I'm not going to change for you. Okay? You guys, y'all so unhappy you can't hear passion and know when it's passion and enthusiasm. You take it as, oh, I'm stressed out. You a cocksucker. Get off my channel. I don't like the negative stuff, man. These are armchair bros. Because, man, people who are over here, they don't do that kind of stuff. Unless you're Fred Flintstone and you don't got nothing else to do. You don't have a life. But these guys like this Danny Kim. This is a barbershop, bro. They always got something to say. You ain't going to bust a grape, man. Stay your ass over there wherever you are. Stupid ass fool. He said, what's the biggest few issues you see there? Chinese insurgents are really just day-to-day shit like eating. Well, that's what we're saying, Howard. If you take a lot of these suggestions, your landing's going to be a whole lot softer. First of all, what do you mean Chinese? What are you talking about with the Chinese? They don't bother you over here. Insurgents, man, the insurgents, they just about eradicated them. I wouldn't bet my life savings on it, but you just absolutely have to stay away from where they are. The Philippines has 2,000 islands that are inhabitable. It's not even hard to stay away from the insurgents. Okay? And then eating, I don't have a problem with the food. We cook at home. I eat just as well here as I do in America. Because if you're in those bubble cities, like I was telling you, you're not going to have a problem with the food. If you want to eat out, man, everything is there. Coffee shops, fine dining, and everything in between. I mean, when people think about the Philippines, they always think about balut and all that, dried fish, and, cultural foods that you won't even find in a restaurant over here. You got to travel. And like I said, listen to people who are going where you're going, or who are where you want to go, or who've been to where you want to go. And you can get rid of all this stuff, man. The Chinese is what's going on, the Spratly Islands and all that stuff, man. That's a whole world away, man. I'm more worried about the American military being over here than China. I'm sorry. Hey, Go Be Franklin, thanks for that super chat. He says, coming back January to March. Hope you have a community gathering. Keep safe and appreciate your content. I used to have them about every month, Go Be Franklin. But a lot of times I would have help on the other end, like Derek Hughes to help me if I wanted to have one in Cebu. TJ helped me when I had one in Davao. What's his name? What's those guys? Claude, and his wife Jen. They helped us when we were in Cayenne, Oro. And then I just basically do it when we have it here in San Carlos City, which is where I'm going to have the next one. But yeah, I'll keep you posted. But the biggest issue that I see guys having over here is with the women, man. Really, they get involved too fast. And it really shuts you down, man. Limits, your movement, what you can do. Y'all don't realize what it feels like to carry when you're new. Remember, I've been up here. I know what it's like. I mean, when you're new here in this country, and then you got to put a 100-pound backpack on everywhere you go. That's the issue, really. We got to learn some kind of way, man, to be able to handle that, to be able to deal with that, man. I mean, what I see a lot of people doing too quickly now, they're creating the life over here that they're running from there. That's the whole point of coming over here, for the freedom and independence and all of that. But you come over here and build a damn self-imposed prison for yourself. You back to doing everything. You can't even retire. Because now you got a woman. She might have kids. You got bills. You done created the same shit that you're running from over there. I'm just saying, slow down a little bit. Get to know the place first. That's all. That's really the issue that I see over here, men having. And then, they'll disappear. And then when the problems come, they'll text me, hey, man, I'm going through something. Well, I suggested, man, that you don't get involved right away. But of course, we're not going to listen, man. When it comes to women, you're not going to listen. I certainly am not the expert on that, but I can tell you that may be something that you want to, postpone, because of all the things you got to worry about. That's the least that you got to worry about. But we put it at the top. Okay. What's up, Golden Medal? Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. He said, Cal, get him. No, I'm just saying, man, these guys, man, these are grown men, okay, that come on here with that foolishness. And it's hard for me really to believe it. I just don't believe it, man. I didn't grow up around men like that. I mean, these are grown-ass men. No wonder why y'all don't have a woman. What woman would want to deal with some of these guys, man, who get with that type of attitude? Big Hamza 22 said cow giving game and these bastards too dumb to appreciate it. Yeah, man, I'm just trying to make your outcome better for your income. You're spending all that money to come over here, all your time and effort to get over here. We can help each other. That's what I'm saying. What advice, guys? Put some stuff in the comments to help the new man and woman coming over here. I said the bubble city, you know, they got the infrastructure. It's all inclusive. You don't have to go anywhere. You're going to save money. Are they a little bit more expensive? Not much, but yeah, but you get what you pay for. Don't live here permanently. You're in Southeast Asia, man. Travel around. If you find a place, that really, you know, catches you, then stay. You got that freedom now. You're retired. That's what we want. We want the freedom. And it says, remain single as long as you can. Single, really. It doesn't mean, you know, I'm single because I'm not married. If you can, have a place of your own and a place for her. I'm saying when you first come over here, before things get hot and heavy, we get off the plane moving in with women. Man, that's crazy. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard, but that's what we do. But if you remain single a little bit, because that's going to get old real quick, it's going to get quiet, the dust is going to settle. You're going to empty your sack, and you're going to be sitting across from somebody you have nothing in common with. Everything they do is going to piss you off. They're looking at their phone all the time. You don't know who they're talking to. Then when they have their friends around, they're talking in their language. You don't understand it. They're probably talking about you right in front of your face. You don't want to deal with that when you first get here. That's not what you want to deal with. You come over here, man, you want to kick back, relax, you know. You can be with her as much as you want. You can even help her and take care of her. She don't have to live with you. Because then you're like, okay, well, damn, man, I want to go to Hadia. Well, now you run the risk of pissing the woman off. And then they'll start talking like my buddy. He went and he licked the kitty. The woman's crazy about him, but now all she's talking about is how many police friends she's got. You don't want that, man. See, he's run into that already. This woman's telling him, yeah, you know, you can fool me around. If you fuck me around, I'm going to call the police on you. You don't want that right away. So be single. And if you're going to date a single woman. A real single woman, man, that doesn't have children, that doesn't have 4 or 5 ex-boyfriends and all that, and doesn't have a jealous ex and all of that. Because there's no update on Elliot Eastman. I couldn't find anything. There's no updates on him. I don't care what people are telling you. Unless something's come out since I've been on here, they're looking at that angle where the jealous ex of his wife who wanted that woman back. And you can imagine you, an indigenous man over here, and now here comes a foreigner. He got your woman. That he can't sleep at night. That's what they're looking at. You don't want that. That's all I'm saying. And it's just simple stuff, but we can't seem to get it. Okay? We can't seem to get it because we can't get over the first hurdle, which is a woman. We're coming over here for women. You're gonna destroy your retirement before it even starts. And I know I'm gonna have 10 guys on here to say, oh, it worked out for me. Well, what about the 1,000 other guys it didn't work out for? He said, the cat is literally out of the bag. He says, preach, Cal, that's what happened to my nephew. As soon as he got there, he moved her in. Now they hate each other. Wow. He said, what 2 or 3 other vloggers do you watch and recommend? I like simple people. I like Too Much Time on My Hands 65 Kevin. he helps people because he goes around and he interviews, he not interviews, he presents apartments and houses and stuff and about motorcycles. And he travels around a little bit because now he's single. I watch him. I just watch regular people, man, who he's not a dating guru. See, I'm skeptical of guys like that who are always talking about dating. You're 70 years old. You can't get a woman in your country. You're lonely. You're isolated. Nothing. You come over here where a woman is the last thing you got to worry about. A woman shows you some attention. Now you're the expert on women and dating. I don't watch guys like that. I just watch guys who just, talk about normal stuff. Old Dog's got a good channel. If you want to hear other people's perspectives, every man has a story. He interviews a lot of people. But the thing is, he interviews them right off the plane. They don't know nothing. They're talking about their life in America. Well, you're not in America now, and why they came here. That's not going to help the new man. But it's not a whole lot of them that I watch for real. I kind of switch around, and then I watch vloggers in other countries too. People who are trying to really bring you some value. They don't like them, like Austin Holloman. The man's bringing you good content, really. He's talking to people who have been in Africa and where the places he's been. But it's the armchair bros and the barbershop bros that are saying, oh, he's not credible. Or I'm not credible. But if you try to give anybody that's really trying to give some value and who's really boots on the ground and showing you, hey, I can do it, those are people I watch and I have respect for. But these vacation vloggers, and they've got their place, adventure vloggers and all that, I really don't watch them. Hey, what's up, Chaz? Del B. Mike Ellis says, Eastman is a dead man walking. Man, I like to think no news is good news, but the longer it goes on, man, I don't know. I just know that they've knocked him off the front page, which is bad, But that's just how it is over here, man. There's over 100 people that died in this damn storm that just left here. I mean, millions, I'm talking about, devastated. So why would you want to put one man above all that? They're not going to do it over here, man. They're like, okay, we got people on it. I don't care how much pressure we put on them. This is their country. They're going to say, look, we got our fellow man to deal with. We tried to tell him. This is what the police is saying. We told him that he was in danger. But for some reason, he wanted to stay. I hope they find him. I hope it comes to an end, man, as soon as possible. But a lot of times, it don't, man. Even if it's a legitimate kidnap for ransom, man, that's not resolved for months and months and months. He said, don't trust too quickly. Be suspicious. Protect yourself. Yeah. Thomas Marshall said he's stuck now. What time? You don't know what that woman's capable of doing to him. Yeah. But that's the hurdle we can't get over. That's the one hurdle we can't get over because we won't come over here and exhale. Just come over here and exhale. The best time to get on the dating site, guys, look, and I know you've heard it from other people, but I've been saying this for 4 years, it's when you get here. Why are you on the dating site over there? You can't get here. Wait till you're here and then get on the dating site. Now it's easier to tell whether the woman's full of shit or not. Hey, I'm here already. Meet me at Ayala, SM Mall, whatever it is. Okay, now you can proceed. But wait till you exhale first. I mean, we got that hot pan syndrome, man. This is why we can't win over here, man. We can't win, man, because they know what you want. And they're willing to give it all to you. But it's going to cost you, man. We won't even get over here, man. You don't even know where to exchange your money at. The woman's waiting for you at the airport. You don't even know where to exchange your money. You don't know nothing. And that's the hurdle right there, guys. He said, yeah, Austin is the truth. I mean, any of these guys, you got to realize, man, he's a young man. Austin Holloman's only 25. I mean, he's way ahead of his time for real. I think it's jealousy, man, you know, because the guy's trying at least. Yeah, he may never be found. He said, yeah, some cats, they weak for the cat, even so much to put themselves in danger. Well, the guy asked me, what's the issue? I'm just being honest. That's the one issue we can't seem to get over. It's one hurdle we can't seem to clear, man. We made it all about the women and so much more over here. He said, so if you meet them at SM Mall, do you pay for their transportation? I mean, okay, look. More than likely, she's got 12 pesos, man. If she don't, yeah, send her 100 pesos to meet you at SM or whatever. See, that's what I'm saying. When you're over here now, you don't have to send money back and forth. You don't have to do that. You can see right in front of you, is this woman real or not? She's full of shit or not? You don't have to wait months and months and months. People get on here, oh, we chatted for a year because you a damn fool. I know you spent thousands and thousands of dollars. Now you can't wait to get over here because you want to get your money's worth. You want to get what you paid for. That makes you even more desperate. But if you come over here, you're already here. I'm already in the Philippines. Like, wow, man, you know, I can get my place and, you know, I can exhale. Now I can get on the dating site because they're not going anywhere. Okay, they can't go anywhere. They don't have any money. They don't have any visas. You can get them just as, you can get a woman here better than you can over there. There's no more fantasy. It's all real life. He said, I would rather go to the Philippines as a young man. Well, a lot of people, you know, they wish they had that option. But young men, to be honest with you, they're still chasing the American dream. You know, that's why I can, okay, tip my hat to guys like Austin Holloman. He's young enough. Look, this guy's 25. He's like, man, I gotta need to be looking at my options now, he's saying. At 25, man, I was chasing the American dream. I'm getting high. I'm going out to the nightclubs. I'm not thinking about anything outside of America. He said, some will ghost you once they find out you're here because they can't play you anymore. Yeah, it's all about getting rid of all those games and stuff. I met Marilyn. I was here. She didn't know it, but I was here already. Yeah, I ain't got time for that bullshit, man. We coming over, we 60 years old. That's the least thing you need to be worried about anyway, but y'all don't believe it. You know, and they can smell desperation from a mile away. They already think you're desperate. That's what they're thinking. If you show them something else, they don't know what to do. They're thinking every man that come over here is desperate. You can't get a woman at home, and you know that's why you're over here, and you better be glad I'm talking to you. You know, when you show them something else like, oh no, I want to come over. Well, wait, I just got off the plane. You know, let me sleep for a day or two and get my feet underneath me. It's something totally different. Yeah, we putting them in layaway. Spending big money. But we think that's something good. See, that'll be advice to any man or woman who's coming over here wanting to meet somebody. Wait till you get over here. Now you know you're here. You don't have to make any promises because they want to know when you coming. And then the longer you chat with them, the more emotionally entangled you become. the more sympathetic to her situation you become and her circumstances, and you feel like, oh, I got to do something. He said, Cal, I know this isn't too smart, but I always take pesos back to the States. And when I come back to the Philippines, I bring 5,000 pesos with me. Skip the exchange rate lines. Well, that's really a good idea, but only if you know you're coming back. I mean, in a certain amount of time. I usually just go on and cash all mine because I know I'm going to need it. When I land in Chicago, I'm from Louisville, but when I land in Chicago, I got to get the Grab, I've got to get something to eat, I got to do all that. I've taken money back before, but not a whole lot. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Brian, he said, when I was young, I never thought of Philippines. I don't know, they're saying something different is happening. I believe it's because of young guys like Austin Holloman on here saying, hey, man, look at your options. A lot of younger guys are taking that trip overseas without being in the military and all of that. You know, but it's not too many that I watch because a lot of people, man, they're just not real. If you're not talking about your own life, I don't really want, you ain't got nothing to say to me. I want to hear about you and what you're doing over here, not somebody else. They'll be interviewing somebody every day. I mean, that's what makes me skeptical of these guys. You hear nothing about their past, nothing about their present. Like, who you with, man? You know, do you got a girlfriend or anything? So why are you giving so much dating advice and you don't have a woman next to you? It's easy to look on YouTube and be like, man, you full of shit, and keep scrolling. But there's a lot of good information on YouTube. It just depends on who you're watching. Hey, Justin Asen, thanks for that super sticker. I appreciate y'all support, man. We're just trying to help the new man and woman today because a lot of times it's like what not to do. But today I'd like to give them some advice on what to do when they get here. He says the visa good for Americans and is weed illegal there and are the hurricanes crazy there. Well, the visa, this is America's a non-visa country, Lee. So that means you don't need a visa to come to the Philippines. You just need a valid passport with at least 6 months left before it expires. Weed is not legal here. Can you get weed? Yeah, a friend of mine, what's his name? Jungle Space Cowboy, he's locked up right now for having weed. And he says he uses it for his brain tumor, but they don't care. They locked him up. He's in a jail that I wouldn't let Curly stay in. Do not fool. That's one piece of advice. I'm glad you brought that up that I can give the new man and woman. Don't fool with drugs over here. This is the wrong place. Okay? They're having a Senate hearing now. They're talking to the ex-president. And he ain't pulling no punches. He said, yeah, I gave an order to kill them all. Kill all the drug dealers. And I meant it, he said. He ain't joking. Now, you don't want to fool with that. And, you know, as far as the typhoons, it just depends on where you live. See, everybody, you know, you're going to get remnants of it. Like we're getting remnants of this new Leon. Luckily, it's veered away. It's going toward Taiwan. But you'll get rain and things like that. But if you stay out of that Biko region, they getting hit. That's central Luzon. They're getting hit every year. Eastern Visayas region. Tacloban Lady, Samar. You stay out of them areas, man, you got a good chance of avoiding any type of typhoon over here. Every 30 years, like we got one in 2021. See? But yeah. Leo's Vlog said, Cal, at 25, you were probably doing all the disco too in the late 70s and 80s. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about the Philippines or Thailand or any of those places. And only because you were in the military could you really say that, honestly. But it's a new day now, Leo. I think because, you know, you see these guys out here, these young guys. who are putting out some good information. You know, they're like, hey man, look at me over here. There was a guy here years ago. Let me think. His name was Mindanao Bob. He was way before his time. He was like 30 when he got to the Philippines. He may have been a little younger. But he said, that's who I first started following. Anybody. He didn't have a YouTube channel. He had a website. I forgot the name of it. Philippines Paradise or something. It was something. But he said, I knew a long time ago I didn't want to be married. He said, I didn't want the 30-year mortgage. He said, I didn't want to slave for somebody for 40 years. He said, I moved to the Philippines. And he put out like a little blog. He was doing a blog. He said, it's hard to find a good woman in America nowadays. Yeah, maybe. I can't. I've been gone for a long time as far as that's concerned. I know nothing about dating, but there's good women there. Because everybody's not running out of America. I think you need to go where you're celebrated, really. And we don't make the rules. That's why I don't apologize for being in the Philippines. You know, people think that you're weak because you come to places like that. I'm like, I'm smart, man. If I was a business and I came to the Philippines for the exact same reason that I'm here, I'd be celebrated. Okay? But people don't look at it like that. You know, the cost of doing business is cheaper. The profits are higher. Labor is less, a whole lot less. They say you're a genius. But because I'm an individual and I made the same move for the same reasons, I'm a fool. I can't make it in my home country. When corporations do it all the time, they already see it. They're way ahead of us. They're saying like, man, I'm opening up a call center in the Philippines. You know, and then I'm going to serve the people in America or wherever, Britain or England. And they're successful. But if you do it, you're a fool. He said those bikini bloggers are stickily clickbait. And, you know, honestly, they have their place, Jacob, Tanjay, for the armchair bros and the barbershop bros who are never coming here. See, I talk about them all the time, but let me be honest for 1 second. That culture there makes my channel possible because they're the ones financing all this. It's not the people coming over here. It's the people who aren't coming over here for one reason or other. They're the ones sitting at home on the couch and all of that, watching these videos and everything like that. The women are saying, okay, I'm going to take advantage of this because we showed them how to do that. And now some women over here, man, they're literally rich. They become rich off YouTube, and I don't knock them for that. I'm not going to pocket watch them. You know, if I was a woman over here, man, and I'm struggling, I'd be looking at a YouTube channel. But you got to do that risque stuff. You know, you got to be smart about it, but because these guys are coming over here, you know, you're like a sitting duck. I was telling some young girls, see, when a lot of these young girls like Filipino Wanderer, It's Wing, Filipina Elated. See, I knew them before they really had any following. I was giving them advice. And I was telling them, you know, be careful though, because guys are gonna start coming over here. You know, don't do too much, but you know, they're grown. They can do whatever they want to do. But I'm not going to say, it's clickbait for me because I'm over here. The guys who come over here, they're going to realize it's clickbait. But to the barbershop bros over there, you know, they think that those women are 15s when they're 3s and 4s for real. Yeah, they're 3s and 4s. He said, I see these old dudes talking about how to meet Filipinos. Now they're ladies. Now the ladies' man is 70. Yeah, it's just, you could easily see right through that. You're like, dude, you get, what are you talking about? How many women did you actually meet over here, man? But now all of a sudden you know everything about dating over here. You probably met the one woman you're with and that's it. But all of a sudden you know everything to know about dating, man. You gotta be skeptical of stuff like that. He said, damn, Jungle Space Cowboy was crazy. Did he get set up? I don't know. But from what Kiki was saying, Kiki in the Philippines, he's the one did the video on it. He interviewed him at the jail. It's just, I feel sorry for him because I met Jungle Space Cowboy. He came to my meet and greet in Angeles City. He's just a good guy to me, man. Just, a guy living his best life, and living life on his terms. The only thing I knew, and I told Merlin, I said, him having these prostitutes all around him like that. Yeah, he kept an apartment full of bar girls. I said, it's not good. And, I guess somebody turned him in or something. Yeah, he said Duterte was no joke. Yeah, facts. Yeah, facts. All you got to do is go on the television right now, YouTube. He's telling it all now. He's 79, 78, or 79. I guess he's figuring he's at the end. He's admitting to all of that. He said, yeah, I had a death squad in Davao. And he was pointing out people that was on the death squad. High-ranking policemen. And I'm like, man, but that's the type of respect he's got. But, they're looking at him. They're laughing like, yeah, they could easily deny that. But Duterte's like, no, he was the head of my death squad. Him. They're all big in the Philippine National Police now. But yeah, he's the one cleaned up Davao. And the reason it's one of the safest cities in the world, not just in the Philippines or Southeast Asia. No, he was no joke. Harry Schroeder said, just remember Thailand is a kingdom you really can't compare. Yeah. I think this escapes a lot of people. That's probably one reason why you only hear good stuff about Thailand. Or they'll talk shit about Thailand when they're back at home in their home country. But when they're there, you only get the sugar-coated stuff. They don't talk about the insurgents they've got in the South. There's insurgents in Thailand. Nobody ever talks about that. They stay away from there, which you should stay away from the South in the Philippines. If you go, you're playing with your own life. But I didn't know. I'm right over here. I've been to Thailand. When I went to Thailand in 2022, I didn't know there was insurgents in Thailand. Somebody should have told me that already. And you say, well, Cal, somebody should have bought that up. Because I'm walking around like I own the place. And not realizing, man, some of those places some of those tourist spots over there, Phuket, look it up if you don't believe me. Man, they come under attack before. Bombs that went off in those places. Around the same time they did that Bali bombing. It's insurgents down there, man. And they ain't playing. You go down there, same thing that happened to Elliot Eastman that happened to you and other people over here. Mad Max says, yeah, you got a new phone. I did. I didn't have no choice. Thank you. It's the same one as this, except it's just the latest version. Oppo. I don't have, 100,000 pesos to spend on a Pro Max and all that. He said, Cal Robinson Mall in Butuan has kids taekwondo competition. He said, very entertaining. The malls out here is good live entertainment from time to time. But if you like good live entertainment, that's what these bubble cities got too. And it's not too far away. Remember La Hogue, where I was talking about, where IT Park is located. On the weekends, man, they got those live bands. If you go to Mall of Asia, man, you go right across the street on any night. When we were there, every restaurant on that little bay walk right there with the big Ferris wheel had a live band. I don't know how you can really discern all the music is coming together. He said, the Black Filipino. I used to follow him. I don't really watch him too much anymore. I can't really relate to him anymore like I used to. Before I had my channel, yeah, I watched him. You know, I was a fan of his because I couldn't believe it. I was over here and I saw him. I was just looking through YouTube and I saw him. And he was up in Manila, but he was like the nitty gritty then. He's kind of changed, but you know, he's still successful, but I don't watch him. But I'm pretty sure he gives out a lot of good information and stuff. He asked me the ones I watched. I'm not saying he doesn't have a good channel because he does. It's a successful channel. He's been going twice as long as me. But the question was, which ones do I watch? I don't watch him. He said, how much is the exit clearance? If you do it yourself, it's about 500 pesos or something like that. If you go to immigration. If you do it at the airport, it's going to cost you more. But it's a lot of requirements. It's going to cost you more because you got to get passport photos. You got to get copies of this, copies of that. It's not a lot if you go through immigration. But remember, when you get your exit clearance, you already have to have your ticket booked out of the country. You can't just show up because they give you, I want to say 30 days. That exit clearance is good for 30 days. So you have to be gone within 30 days. Alan Fish says the world is small now through social media, and people like yourself, a lot of young cats are expanding their horizons. It is. I believe that's one of the reasons. But I got to give it to these young guys, man. When I was that young, I was still chasing the American dream. He said it wasn't hard to meet women in America. It's hard to find a quality woman that you can trust over there. I believe that's just all subjective, though. Some guys don't have any problem. They get the damn pieces and stuff. I think as you get older, man, it just becomes more difficult. They raise the bar. You know, we got to have more money and everything like that. I mean, it's crazy, but the older you get, you know, the harder it gets. You got to have more money. They start looking at your education. What kind of retirement plan you got? Does you have a home? They're looking at your past. What have you done up to this point? And they skeptical. You know, women are like, no, it's okay, I'll pass. And that's their, you know, prerogative. But don't get mad at me for coming to the Philippines where there's a lot of eligible women over here for whatever reason. I didn't make the rules, so I don't apologize. Lee A said, good looking out, brother. If you could, go back in time and do it all over again with money, would you live in the Philippines or Thailand? The way things worked out for me, I'd still live in the Philippines, man. You know, it's just, the Philippines fits me better than Thailand. See, I don't go out. I'm not a club guy, and, you know, I love the beaches. And, you know, you can say what you want to say. There's more beaches here. The Philippines has some of the top beaches in the world. It doesn't matter if it's Thailand. But you guys got to understand there's more to this than Philippines and Thailand. Don't limit yourself to those two places. Why is that always the question? I don't get it. It's like when I went to Thailand in 2022, man, I'm going to tell you something. I went to Bangkok. I liked it, but, man, you know, it's like it reminded me too much of home, man. I wanted to get away from, you know, the modern times and all that. It's too modern for me. It just reminded me of the Matrix, really. And, of course, I don't know the rules over in Thailand. I don't know the do's and don'ts. I was only there for 5 days. But I would do the Philippines because it just fit me better. I came here first. And I'm never going to compare, because when you compare, you got to tear down one place to raise up the other place. I don't do that. I don't waste my time, man. I made it. I'm standing on my decision. I'm going to make the best of it. because I can always go to Thailand and these other places. It's not a race between the Philippines and Thailand, guys. Get that out of your head right now. Don't let these guys put that in your head, that it's either or. You can have it all. But then you're going to miss out on those other places. Vietnam, Bali, Malaysia, man. Y'all got to get real. Singapore, Taiwan. Man, some places over here, guys. Don't limit it to Thailand and the Philippines. You know, I'm gonna say the Philippines anyway because of the women. You're gonna get a quality woman over here, a real woman over here. You don't have to guess whether or not she's been to the bar or not. And you can talk to her. You know, I was watching Living Abroad. Now, not Living Abroad. What's his name? Game Abroad. I watch him. He went to a 7-Eleven, man. They couldn't understand him. He was looking for a rag, just a rag. You know, he works out, but over here in Southeast Asia, you need a rag. You're going to sweat. They couldn't understand him in the 7-Eleven. He got frustrated and walked out. He's another one I watch. Because these guys are winning, man. I want to watch the winners. You know, and you know you're watching a winner when you got trolls, when you got people who are jealous of you. He was living in Brazil before. But yeah, you know, don't limit yourself to those two guys. Do it all, man. He said that box is powerful. He said, I remember they were nobody before you put them on. Yeah. And, you know, now they've all passed me up. I mean, I believe they all got 100,000. I don't know if its wing has 100,000, but I know Filipino Lady has 100,000, and Filipino Wanderer has 100, close to 100, if not 100,000. And it's just, you know, you got to thank the armchair bros for that and the barbershop bros for that. Yeah, he said 15 years ago, the barbershop bros used to think I was crazy traveling in all these countries. You know, I've been trying to tell them about all the beautiful women and how they treat a brother, but they don't believe you. They think you weak. Oh, you got to leave America. Like, American women are the standard of all the women around the world. Man, y'all going to learn pretty soon. Lawrence Weber said, don't go if you want fun at a lower price, go to the Thailand. Well, you know, man, I'm not going to argue with you. Because I can't argue with you. That's your opinion. That's your perspective. I'm going to respect it. Okay? So if you think I'm going to argue with you, you got the wrong guy. I'm glad you're having a good time. Okay? Are you there now? Are you just a barbershop bro right now? Hey, Brandon. Rayford, he said, man, good content. Thanks. See, these are the guys who you're not going to learn anything from, really. If they tell you just to go to Thailand, forget all the other places, by the way. Go to Thailand. And there's people leaving Thailand. Instead of him telling me, hey, this is why you should go to Thailand, he's just saying Thailand is better. I can have fun here. You probably haven't even been. See, I had a guy over here. His name is Bumps and Bruces. That's the name of his channel. He stayed in my guest house. He lives in Thailand, been in there for over 20 years. He came to the Philippines because he rode his motorcycle around the entire Philippines. And when I interviewed him, and you can go on my channel, I'm pretty sure he got a whole lot more information than you do. He said, Calvin, the reason I don't listen to all of that chatter about the Philippines, which is better, the Philippines or Thailand, is because when people come to Thailand, there's only about 8 or 9 places they go to. Of all Thailand, they just don't know enough about it. And the same with the Philippines. They go to even less places. But then they're going to try to compare it. You know very little about these countries, man, to compare them. You haven't been anywhere. You know, Frank Ellis said the P has 350,000 subs. Crazy. Well, okay, now that I've always respected P, okay, because you can't argue with success. But, and I'm going to say this is a big but, now that I see July, Philippine lady, Philippine Wonder, and I see them with 100,000 and more subscribers, I have to say to myself, a lot of that has to do with the fact that she's a woman, that she has a pussy. She's a Filipina, and we're crazy about Filipinas. Because otherwise, what else do you credit that to? These women, you go on their channel and you be like, wow, it's just a popularity contest, guys. YouTube doesn't pay you based on subscriptions. Okay? But it has a lot to do with it. She's going to hit 1 million. Filipino P will probably, let me see. I'll give her another, if things continue to go the way they are, everything being equal, in about another 2 years, she'll probably have 1 million. She'll be knocking on that 1 million. But her content is no more nittier and grittier than mine. It's less. But she's a woman. Okay? If you want to really, here's the real nitty gritty. All of them combined. I've got more dating experience over here in the Philippines, in their country, than all of them combined. When I came over here in 2009, they were babies. Okay? But I don't have a pussy. I'm not a woman. I don't have long flowing hair and perfect skin. That goes a long way on YouTube, man. In this genre, in the Philippine genre. Okay? And it should be like that. If you're going to have big vloggers over here, in my opinion, they should be Filipino. I mean, that's just how it is, I'm not going to knock them for getting in where they fit in. What's up, AB? He said AB loves Vietnam. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming on here and saying that. And he's been to the places, Brunei. He's been to a few places, all those places y'all talk about. He says he likes Vietnam. Let's give him that. You don't ever hear people say, well, what's better, Vietnam or Philippines? Only little people do that. Only small people do that, guys. Don't be little. You can have it all over here if you're going to listen to somebody. But what gets you stuck is you end up going to one of these countries, finding a woman, the first thing you're looking for. Now you're stuck. You ain't going nowhere. Hey, Lee says, as always, thanks for the boots on the ground information. He said, Calvin, that last video you made seemed like you had regrets. Now, if you watch the video, the first thing I said, it's not about regrets. I'm content. I'm satisfied. I'm happy. I'm saying these are tips for the new man and woman. Hindsight is always 20/20. I've been on here on and off for 15 years. I'm just going back and saying, okay, look, if you knew, let me put you up on some game about how to make your time over here, much better, much easier. See, because I didn't have that, Mike. There was no Sunshine Shoulders on YouTube giving me information at all in 2009. No one told me where the mines were in the field. I had to step on a few and get blown up. So I'm just telling you, so I'm giving y'all that information. See? Now I'm happy. I'm as happy as I've ever been. And there's no reason for me to lie about that. If I wasn't, you must not know me. I'd be gone. I'm just telling the new man and woman over here, I've made a lot of mistakes, man. You don't have to make them. But y'all, evidently you didn't watch the video because it's the first thing I said. It's not about regret. It's about giving some tips to the new man and woman coming over. He said, Ron Ross says, I've been to most hot spots in Asia. Japan, South Korea. Yeah, see, we're forgetting all about these places. And you don't hear them saying, oh, what's the best, Thailand or Japan? Or Thailand and, South Korea. You don't hear that. It's always Thailand and the Philippines. You can't even compare the two. Okinawa, Hong Kong. They even forgot about Hong Kong. Singapore, Malaysia, Bali, Australia, Philippines. By far, the Philippines is one of the easiest places to meet a woman. And the quality of the woman that you're going to meet. But all they want to talk about is fun. Dude, I'm 61 years old. Don't be talking about fun to me. That's just, I don't even want to hear that kind of language. I'm not 21, I'm 61. Who says I want to have fun? Oh my God. Hey, Alpino, I said, Cal got good wisdom, man. I listen to these OGs and took some of the game they give. Yeah, it's just to help you, man. That's all. It's just suggestions. You don't have to take any of it. But I guarantee you your landing would be a lot softer if you did start taking some of the advice of these people who are here, who are doing what you want to do. We walked on the mans out there. Now you got somebody that can guide you through the manfield and say, hey, man, don't go over there. They over there. He said, brothers have to do better. He said, it's a big world. He said, take the opportunity to see all the continents if you can. I recently retired in my 50s and plan to visit all continents, including Antarctica. See, that's a great idea. This is what I'm saying. I wouldn't live anywhere permanent if I could do it all over again. I've got a 4-year-old daughter, man, in there. Okay? That's where all of my time, money, and attention is going. I'm telling the men who is coming behind me, look, man, it's a big world out there, he said. See it all. But certainly come here. Michael Firestone says she has a great channel. Yeah, you know, you can't argue with success. That's all I'm saying. But when you got other women over here who are shooting up like that, 150,000, 130,000, you know, you have to take into account, Michael Firestone, that being a woman has a lot to do with it. Because it's not like you're going to get a whole lot of content on there. And no Filipino, including Filipino P, is giving you the nitty gritty. They're just not going to do it. It goes against their culture. They're simply not going to do it. Okay? That's all I'm saying. It's all subjective anyway. You know, if you like a channel, you like it. You don't. There's no reason for you to explain it. Remember, we're at an age now. You got to reach a certain level in your life where you don't have to explain to people anymore. See, I'm at that age. I just explain when I want to. I don't have to. I think it's disrespectful. You ask a 60-year-old man why? Because I'm 60, man. I can do whatever I want to do. Michael Mirday said, that's right. Filipinos can get up and brush their teeth and get 10,000 subs. It's true, man, you know. Shad Washington says, I think that your content is very honest and maybe too honest for some. Personally, I want to hear your honesty over other channels. Fluff, respect. Thank you. You know, a lot of guys, oh, man, you know, you're raining on our parade. No, I'm telling you to bring an umbrella to the parade, dummy. And then when the shit blows up on you, then you look around for somebody to blame. It's good information out here, man. A lot of mistakes people are making over here, they should not be making them. This is old news. Everything I talk about is old news, man. It's nothing new. It's nothing earth-shattering. But for some reason, we're deaf, dumb, and blind when we get here. If you don't think that what these women do to us over here is not real, then you've never been over here before. You know, everybody's not a simp. But when you see the 4'11", 5 foot, 100-pound woman with, you know, perfect shape, perfect skin, long flowing hair, booty shorts, tight, skinny jeans with that okai blouse on, man, you ain't got a chance. You ain't got a chance. I don't care what you say, you're not going to do 8,000 miles away. And then she tells you, you can do whatever you want to do to me. And you ain't been with a woman in Lord knows how long. Talk that shit to somebody else. Don't talk it to me. Because you're lying. I've seen it. I've seen the best of them melt. Okay? I'm just saying. I've seen the best of them melt over here. Yeah, thanks, IT Consulting. He said you mentioned no regrets in the first part of the video.
I forgot
Coming
to
from me.
put that there.
Let me show you, man. I don't have any regrets. This is my reason for living, okay? I couldn't leave if I wanted to. But I'm happy. You know, I got a woman, man, that bent over backwards for me. She's a professional with a college education, has no enemies. It's in the tip-top shape of her life. Has the body of a 25-year-old woman. Okay? And it's cooperative. Okay? Were it not for her, I wouldn't be sitting in here right now. You know, see, it's a lot about me y'all don't know, man. You know, when my wife left, man, she left me at the worst time she could have possibly left me. Man, I was at the lowest point in my life, and my wife doesn't understand that. I couldn't get her to realize that. But in comes Marilyn. She helped me through that low part, man. There was no sunshine shoulders, man. See? Frank L said the fun is over. It's real life. Now, yeah, you got grown men on here talking about fun. Man, get out of here with that. I ain't looking for fun. He said, no way in hell I want a Big Shirley. He said, Big Sherry. When the majority of these women in the Philippines are fit. Yeah, how funk-based, but they'll tell you that I'm a tough guy over there. And don't do this and don't do that, and I'm not going to do anything. I've seen the best of them melt over here. I promise you. You don't have a chance, really. That's why I tell you, man, come on over here. Stop putting the cart before the horse. That's what we're doing by meeting the woman first and having that sealed first. Don't do that. Get everything else situated. Then start dating the woman. Otherwise, man, it's going to take you longer to get anything established over here. Your focus is going to be on that. Okay? Critical Moral said, OG definitely know what he's talking about. Yeah, anybody that's ever been over here that's had that woman waiting for them at the airport will tell you, I'm not lying. They have a magical spell over men. You know, so y'all can talk that Thailand stuff all you want. Men ain't looking for fun. Okay? I know what we're looking for. Man of War 777, what's up? He said, just jumping on the live stream now, what we discussing today. What advice would you give, Man of War, to the new man and woman coming to the Philippines? Now, I know you've been here. You got some stories to tell. Hey, Modoc Roughstock, welcome to the fourth quarter. Thanks for your support, man. He said, greetings from the desert. Yeah, he had a honey with him at the meet and greet. A young stunner from Cebu. But these guys think that, oh, why the Philippines, they say. And then they talk about the infrastructure. Man, come on. Unless you've been over here and you've experienced that, you don't know what you're talking about. Polar Bear 65, he said, I agree with Cal. Much easier for a female to build a following than men. Absolutely, especially if you're in the Philippines. But they don't give us the credit, man. We chiseled out the path for them. Long before, Filipino P's been on the YouTube a few months more than me. But there was no women vloggers. Timing is everything. Especially when it came to a lot of these channels now, like, man, we came along at the right time. She certainly came along at the right time because there really was no other Filipina talking to us. See, she talks to foreigners, okay? But we chiseled out that road for them to follow. They wasn't doing it on their own. And you got to tip your hat. They took advantage of it and ran with it. He said, I'm starting to hear differently. Black men are changing the game over here. As far as what? Because I'm going to tell you, man, a lot of the horror stories are brothers. We're no different, man, when it comes to these women over here, man. You know, they've got a spell on men. These Filipino women, man. They cute as a button, man. You're not gonna, it's just something that it disarms you, man. You don't expect it. You know, I'm just being honest with you. When you're coming from the West, and you know what we're dealing with over there, average woman over there is 5'4", 180 pounds with a 38-inch waist. That's the average woman in America. I didn't say it. And you come over here, and the woman's meeting you. She don't have a weave. That's real flowing hair with the perfect skin, okay? The perfect body. It's like something out of your wildest dreams, man. You think this couldn't be real. And she's following you. Everything you want to do, she wants to do. You never experienced that before, man, until you was 21 or 18 or something like that. See, men won't get honest. We're well past our prime when we get here, guys. Stop tooting your horn like you still John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever, man. You're not that when you get over here. And you got these young tenderonis, man, with you. Somebody talk to me. Y'all know what I'm talking about on here, man. He says, a black man in my 60s, I'm here in the Philippines. I know brothers can pull 8, 9, and 10s. I'm totally embarrassed with these cats. He said, the tune-up and oil change is definitely real. And the lube job. Man, you know. But that's the hurdle we can't seem to clear. It stops us in our tracks, man. It stops us from doing and seeing a lot more of Southeast Asia than we should. You're no longer flexible. What's up? What time is it? He said, preach, Cal. Yeah, because you know you got one. You know she was waiting for you. He said, grown men telling you stuff. Yeah. What's up, Cornelius Mack? And, you know, Cornelius Mack is on here. He'll tell you. You know, we're way past our prime, but hell, he was coming over here, standing them up and knocking them down. He didn't have no problem. He's in his 70s, but, you know, he's one of the guys, he's not afraid to talk to a woman in public. But he'll tell you that there's something different going on over here. He said, vloggers keep trying to capitalize on my boy East getting snatched. Yeah. I'm embarrassed by it, really. But at the same time, when it first happened, if you're a vlog over here and you didn't report on it, I would say, man, you know, what are you doing? You owe that to your viewers and subscribers. But now it's went way beyond that. I mean, it's gotten to the point now, it's like, come on, guys, don't y'all have any type of content that you can put out here besides that? You know, the minute they came out here, well, they found that white Caucasian male in the sea. It's got to be Eastman, they said. What other white man has been kidnapped over here and they looking for? It was not Eastman, man. Go on my community page. I went and I said, well, let me see what a body's like in the water, because that body was white. And they said, oh, it looks like him. And I'm like, I saw that video, man. I'm like, these guys are tripping, man. How you gonna say it looks like him, man? The man's face is ate all up, you know. But he was white. He was like this. He's white. That's called maceration, guys. I knew it wasn't him. But yeah, it has went to the extreme, and now every day an update, and then the update is what they got in the news. They said, because see over here, they're not going to give out information really. They'll say, oh, we've got personal interest, but they don't tell you who it is. We're talking to some people. They won't tell you who they're talking to, who may be able to lead us in to his location, and that's it. That's the update. It's almost as worse as what they doing to Diddy over there. Same thing. They're gonna pull it out. You know, they keep talking about the tapes with the celebrities is coming out. Well, bring it out, man. Let us see it. Or the list of names in the lawsuit, and then they'll just say, oh, there's some celebrities mentioned in the lawsuit. Well, man, why would you bring that out? That's not news. If you're gonna make the article celebrities named in the Diddy lawsuit, and then the broadcast is not going to name the celebrities, you're just going to say celebrities in the lawsuit, that's bullshit. And that's what they're doing with the Eastman thing over here. Well, okay, it's more than that. Here's a guy who thinks he's better than everybody. Tissues for Mega. He says, honestly, I can't relate. I don't drive an hour over some cat. You guys literally find the countries for it. Well, who says we're coming here for that? Okay. But even if we were, okay, we can do that. The world's approximately 197 million square miles. Did you know that? Mega? He said, for the new guy arriving, have your travel plans made before arrival. If you find a proper tour guide, let her join you for the ride. Just remember you will be paying for everything. Yeah. Cornelius Mack says, it's hard to explain to these guys if they're not here. Thank you, Cornelius Mack. He says, I'm in my 70s and no problem over here getting a classy lady. But that's what I'm saying. You know, it's hard. You're right. Explaining to guys who will never come here. Like this Tissues for Mega. He's never going to come here. You never know what you're missing out on, dude. Keep Big Shirley and Big Susie and all of them. You can have them. Because that's what you're getting over there. Otherwise, why would you be wasting your time if some, alpha male, why are you on here? Okay? You should be out there with the beautiful women you claim you got. But he's on here. Well, see, we're not even going to talk to you. We don't want to need you. He said, finding love, peace seems like an extreme challenge these days, especially in the U.S., an extremely toxic culture. It's certainly toxic now. And you can talk to anybody about that. All you got to do, I don't even watch the news over there. It's crazy, man. You seen what happened at that rally the other day. It's just one thing after the other. It's going to get worse when Trump is elected, man. It's not Trump. It's the people who are going to profit off of Trump being in there. All these fringe groups and all these people that are going to come back out of the woodwork. We beat them back into the woodwork when he lost. Now they're going to come back out. It's going to be worse this time, guys, because they know the only good thing about Trump getting elected is he's done after this. There's no more Trump we got to deal with. That's the only good thing about if he wins. Get the hell out of our, the political arena, man. Go on back and crawl in the hole you came out of, man. It's a crazy time in the world when you got people like him who is actually running for president in America. And then you look on the other side, you're like, lady, is anybody else awake besides me? What's going on, man? I was looking at something the other day. I think his name is Tone Talk. That's the name of his channel. And man, this guy scared me, boy, but he spoke to me. He's like, I got a feeling this is going to be a landslide. Trump's going to win a landslide. And, you know, he's one of those political guys. He knows what he's talking about. That's not my arena. And it's because the reason it shook me, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, no way this woman's going to beat Trump, man. I mean, and he broke it down why the woman ain't going to win. And I was like, dude, I wish I could share your damn video on my channel, but I don't get into that stuff. He says, you ain't never lying, bro. That's why I've been living here over 25 years, but still going back and forth to other countries for work. Awesome content is always preached, man. Hey, thanks, Chris, man. You know, some guys, you know, they living their best life over here. You know, they can co-sign and be like, oh, he's not talking bullshit, man, because I'm living it. But if you're talking to a barbershop bro who's over there sitting in the damn barbershop chair, you know, solving all the problems of the world, he has no clue what's going on over here. Man of War 777, he says, I say come to the fields for yourself. Enjoy what it has to offer. Calvin is right. Don't make the female the focus of your travel, because they will eventually be available to you. We're putting the cart before the horse. And then they want to know why everything goes wrong. Okay, if you don't believe me, if you don't think that meeting the woman first is going to be detriment to your success over here in the Philippines, go watch that video I told y'all to watch. He's a good guy. I subscribe to his channel. It's called Dexel, Dexcel, and GM Philippines. And he's talking about all the problems he had over here. And every mistake you could make, he made it. This is a good guy. He wanted to make it over here. But he made a mistake. He met that woman first, married her. And I'm not going to say he was right or wrong for marrying a woman with 4 children, but that's what he did. He married a woman with 4 children, followed her to the province, and it all went to hell. And this is a guy who earnestly wants to make it here. But it's like he never watched one YouTube vlogger. You know, that's all we're saying. The women are going to be here. You're the catch. They're wanting you to come over here. They're luring you over here. They're wooing you over here. If you wasn't the catch, why would they do that? Hey, Xavier, what's up, man? He said, hey, Cal, just checking in late. Good to hear an accumulative overview of your past experiences for the newbies. I recently shared your channel with a group of brothers I met 2 weeks ago. Thanks, man. You're welcome, man. Thank you. When you're headed back this way, he said, hit the like button. He said she started 100 days into the COVID pandemic. Yeah. Blank Paper says, I was in IT Park last night doing the 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. call center lunch breaks. There are not enough foreigners for the young ladies here. I'm a fit black man in his 40s and ladies are approachable. But they're not listening. They're not listening. Them bubble cities, man. I'm new and I'm coming over here now. That's where I'm starting. Beach of Light was really in the bubble city. He was right there in the Cebu Business Park, right across from Ayala and all that. You know, you talk about the food. Well, hell, everything's there. He said, Cornelius Mack, you're right. Guys will never understand until they're there in the Philippines. Yeah, you can talk to you blue in the face. He said, I'm here in the Philippines now and I get a lube job without asking. I've been here with the same woman for 3 years, worked my time 1,000%. Yeah, but you can't convince those Thailanders, you know, that it's like they're over everybody else. That's the attitude that people who sell in Thailand like they have, like, we're better than everybody else. Man, y'all a bunch of fools to think like that. That's just the vibe they put off to me. Like we're the, you know, the top expats because we, you know, this is the place to be over here. If you're anybody, you be in Thailand. No, I think for myself. He said, Cal, what happened to OG Fred? Well, he's like a lot of people. Fred's retired. He didn't come on here to take a lot of bullshit from people. They wore Fred out. I had Fred on my panel. They saw the game Fred was kicking out there, giving good information, and they wore Fred out. Everybody that could had him on their channel. And then, of course, you're going to have trolls in the comments and stuff. Man's like, man, I didn't retire for this. That's all. OG Fred is still living his best life over there in Guam. He did it the right way. Okay? I'm just saying. I don't know, man. The way I look at it, man, every time I watch her, I want her to be good enough. I'm like, lady, convince me to vote for you. She hasn't showed me nothing, man. It's just, y'all don't realize, man, we rejected her back in 2019. We didn't want her, man. We saw straight through that. Even the black people, the black caucus, they rejected her and chose Biden. If it wasn't for that black senator down there in South Carolina, Biden was going to lose. He rescued Biden's presidency, really. I mean, you know, when Biden was running in the primaries and stuff, he literally just came out there and told everybody to vote for Biden. Biden was dead in the water. Yeah, he says, Cal, there are good and bad days in the Philippines, but the bad days are only based on the weather. I just say be happy where you are, man. He said, unfortunately, I agree with you, Cal, but don't expect Trump will leave willingly. But with Trump being 78, there's a chance he will serve the full 4 years. Yeah, I'm just saying, at least that's the only silver lining I see. You know, and I'm overseas anyway. I don't have to put up with the bullshit over there. I sent them my overseas ballot, and I put that. Anybody wants to vote, I put the link that's overseas right now. I put the link on my community page. If you're in one of the states where you can cast an absentee ballot, you know, that's the only silver lining I see in it. But I'm overseas, okay? And I won't have to put up with that stuff, but it's just going to be, it's going to be extremely difficult for her to win, man. Because they know, y'all see what's going on over in the Gaza Strip. You see what's going on over in Ukraine. You see they trying to start shit over here with China. It's not going to change with her in there. It's still going to be the same Biden agenda, what he's doing now. You know, guys, they always want to put everything on the backs of the poor people. You sent $100 billion to Israel. And how much you send to Ukraine? But when it comes to helping people and funding programs and stuff over there, you can't find the money. That's my problem, man. He said, women in the USA are a waste of time. Focus on living your best life. I don't know for the life of me why we're focused on something outside of us anyway, retired 2019. Your happiness comes from within. It always has and it always will. But we're basing it on something outside of us. A country, a woman. Man, get yourself together first, guys. That's the one piece of information I can give you. Or you're going to just bring all the same problems wherever you go. He said, women are 51% of the population and they all passed off, okay? He said, nobody on YouTube was doing blogs about travel to Mexico before I went there and lived there. I punched my own ticket. Yeah, a lot of people can make it without watching YouTube vlogs. But what problems did you have, though? You had that woman, but you ran into some problems. that probably somebody, because you weren't the first American in Mexico. There was somebody who could probably, there probably wasn't, there wasn't the internet then anyway, Robert. But I'm pretty sure you could have talked to somebody and they could have gave you some direction. There's nothing wrong with taking direction, guys, so I don't get it. He said, Cornelius Mack says the Bubble City advice is spot on because that's how I got started in the Philippines and I love it. Yeah, you went, even when you moved from Cavite to Cebu, you moved into the Cebu business park. You're right across the street from everything. I mean, literally right across the street in a condominium. Everything, the malls, the movie theaters, everything, the nightlife, it's just all right there. So you know where all that money is, the police are going to be there. Come on, Stephon Carey. I mean, use your head. Nothing over here is free. Here's what he said. So I'm guessing that if we pay them to meet us at the mall at IT Park for an interview, we have to put them in a hotel for a night. If she wants to stay with you for the night. I mean, where's she coming from? If you're in Cebu, then meet somebody in Cebu. And then now she's maybe coming from one barangay to the other. But guys, listen, Stephon Carey. You can't get something for nothing over here. This is the worst place to try to do that. Nobody has money over here. The women we're dealing with, they don't have any money. So you try to come over here and get something for nothing, man. It's a waste of your time, man. It's a waste of her time. Okay? That's probably why a lot of us can't get women in America. We don't want to spend no money. We think, oh, he's tricking. No, it's just the 21st century that we're living in. You know, you want to be all up in a woman and all of that for nothing. For your good looks and intelligence. Yeah, he says Kamala can't answer questions. It's annoying. I think she's 4 years away. I just think that she needs some more seasoning, man. She needs some more training, man. She just doesn't look prepared. And she's just going to continue what Biden's doing. It's not going to be her presidency. It's going to be his. It's just, I'm not anti-Semitic, man. I'm anti-occupation, anti-genocide. I'm anti-apartheid. I'm anti-war, man. What's going on over there in that Gaza Strip, man? People need to be ashamed, man. We're just sitting there watching, letting that happen. Nobody's doing anything. It's not my business. Yeah, it is. We're all human beings. We're not doing anything over there, but watching that happen. That's all we're doing, man. Where's all the Christians, man? Where are all of y'all? And the Muslims and everybody that, practices these religions, you're just sitting back doing nothing. That's what makes me mad. Surely there's somebody up there at the top who really believes in God or whatever, okay? Then why won't they do something instead of funding the misery? That's what the American government's doing, man. They're funding that misery over there. And then they'll make you, then they're going to talk like he's talking about, word salad, all that stuff. They think you're stupid. What you're seeing is what you're seeing over there. That's genocide over there. And we're sponsoring that. And then we're talking out of the side of our necks, really, off both sides. You're saying that, but then you're saying something different when it comes to Russia and Ukraine. This is what, it's why I left, man. I'm like, let me leave, man. Because I'm going to say what's on my mind. I'm going to get in trouble over there. Neither one of them cocksuckers are going to do us any good. The same shit's going to happen. But we're afraid. The people we vote for, the mayor, the state representatives, and all of that, they're all for that. They're supposed to be working for us. Yeah, Clyburn. Clyburn. That's who. Yeah, he saved him. Man, Biden was dead in the damn water. He said, inflation's rough in America, and Michael B. Life said, inflation is just the cost of money. No inflation equals no money. It is what it is. Yeah, Jim Clyburn. Yeah, he did. What's up, Don Ridgway? He says, I watched all of Dexter and Jim's videos in one day, must see TV. He's very honest, to say the least. Yeah. But at some point, man, and if I were to talk to him, which I can't, he's a grown man, I can't really, give him any advice about his channel. I would say, man, there's something you enjoyed over here. Something went right for you. Everything couldn't be bad. And remember, he's in America talking that stuff. He wasn't talking that stuff over here. He made that video over here. He waited. He's smart enough to do that. He was just telling the problems that he had over here. I respect him for that. But because he had no guidance, though, Don. I mean, he just didn't. Everything, man, there's no way, first of all, I would have moved straight from Michigan, where he's from, to the province. I wouldn't do it. That's a big mistake, man. That's a very big mistake. Okay? Just moving into the country is big enough, and now you're going to move way out in bumfuck Egypt somewhere. Nobody around you. You build a big, gigantic house. Okay? You open up a convenience store. There's nobody to buy your stuff, by the way. And they're not going to buy from you if the Filipino down the street has the same thing. If you're going to open up a business over here, if you're going to take that risk, this for the new man and woman, stay in the background. Don't be all out front making videos showing people, oh, this is our business, because they're not going to patronize you. That's a slap in the face over here. They already know that you got more money than the average person over here. So why you want to come over here and compete against us? And then, even if you do it for little Maria, they've been knowing little Maria her whole life. They know she don't have the money to open it. But you certainly don't do that. That business went down the drain. Everything they tried went down the drain. All he had to do was watch any of my videos. I could have saved him all that money. I would have said, dude, you in Tayasan. Just go on and move to bring her, since you said she was living in a Kubo, bring her to Dumagetti. Lady, you coming to Dumagetti. Let us stand here in Tayasan. You crazy? Hey, Raymond, Sandoval. Yeah, them women over there. They so big, man. They elephant pussy over there. He said, Cal, being 60, you are at the point where you let the truth fly. Yeah, I just see things, you reach that stage, Hal, funk base, where you just say, you just speak what's on your mind. You speak what you're seeing, what you're living, experiencing. I don't have time to be bullshitting nobody, man. It is what I'm talking about. See, people, you can disagree, but you can't tell me where I'm wrong. You following them women way back in the province like that. Man made every mistake in the book. But I told him, I left for a comment. And I don't leave comments on channel. I said, man, you got to help a lot of people with this, because they're going to say, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. And the fact that it doesn't matter if you do a negative video like that about the Philippines or a positive one, people are going to attack you. There's people all in his comments attacking him, calling him a fool and this and that. The man's just trying to tell his story. He said, my wife was Willie was a hippie. He says, my wife has property in Philippines, but if we were to move there from the U.S., she'd want to be a 1 to 2 hour drive from her family. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know about that. Filipinos, man, they're going to help their family. If you were a woman who has a problem with helping her family, man, I'd have to question the woman. Okay? It's, because they're never going to ask you for anything anyway. She already knows their situation. They should already, if you've been living with her in the United States for any considerable period of time, she should already have them set up over here anyway. I mean, let's just be honest about it. I've never had a problem with a family over here. Never. I've dealt with 3 families here. I've never had a problem with families asking me for money and this and that. They're not going to ask me anyway. If they need anything, the woman's going to take care of them. But that wasn't a mistake he made. The mistake he made was being in the province. But at the same time, okay, the one good thing he did, okay, he didn't take her away from where she lived. But in that case, you got to do it. Because she knows everybody there. That's where her value lies. That's where your woman value lies. That's what Maryland's value lies here. If we moved to Dumagetti, she wouldn't know nothing. But Maryland doesn't live in the province. If Maryland would have lived in the province, guys, there's no way I'm going to live in the province. You're coming with me. We're coming to Dumagetti. We're going to load up the truck and we're going to move to Dumagetti City, that is. Swimming pools, movie stars. We're getting out of that hillbilly lifestyle, man. That's all I'm saying. He said, no problem with helping a family as we do from the U.S. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to. You're not going to have a problem with the family unless they live in the province. And then, okay, you got to tell your wife, look, we're not moving there. He says, no versus the world. Said, regular guys barely putting out videos. I'm worried about him financially. Well, I don't know. They came after him, much like they came after me, but I think they basically scared him. They're jealous, man. The man was making good videos. He had a good following. People don't like that. It wasn't like he was really, I'm not going to judge anybody. It wasn't like he was going out there grabbing the women and all this stuff like that. He's slowing up the camera. Man, you can interpret that any way you want to. Okay? Is it a crime what he did? No, but they'll scare him to thinking, oh man, we're going to turn you into the authorities and all that, right? But all he has to do is keep his watch time hours above 4,000. He'll still be getting paid. I mean, I'm not going to pocket watch. I don't know about that. I know that the man has a big following. Any video he brings out is going to get at least 20,000 views. He doesn't have to make them like that. He knows what he has to do. He said, bro, I know for a fact you can't move a woman away from her family, only if she really wants to go. That's the only way I would take her out of her comfort zone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But not the province, guys. Don't do it. That's the exception to that rule. If you live in the province, we got to go somewhere. Then, once I get acclimated and everything gets settled, now we can go back, and visit and everything. Maybe build a small house there. But I'm not all in the province. And don't you be all in that province. Man of War says moved out of the hillbilly place. Yeah, I would have moved out. That was a hillbilly place he lived. He said, my wife came from the province to the U.S. 48 years ago. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. They should be set up already. Of course, she's not going to want to live in the province. If her family living in the province, Willie, she's Americanized now. She didn't got used to the good living. She can't handle the province no more than you can. So that's probably why, yeah, I would be an hour or two away in Cebu or somewhere like that. He said, I live in a province. Now, I wouldn't suggest you do that right off the bat, I'm saying. I could move to the province now. I could handle it. But not when I first came over here. There's no way I could do it. I doubt that you moved right to the province. If you did, you're a good one, man. I tip my hat to you. Laura says, isn't it too hard living outside of a city? You damn right. Especially when you first get off that plane. Man, you're going to... Okay, I'm going to tell you something y'all not even talking about in province. Them damn geckos, them big ones. Them cuckoo, cuckoo. You liable to open up a cabinet and there it is. Okay, that big 6 or 7 inch thing staring at you in the face. You used to that? Going too much time travels too much time on my hand, 65. When they seen one in their house. Man, thing's ugly. That's the type of stuff you're going to run into there. In that province. No grocery stores, nothing. You know. He said, what's up, Sir Ron a lot? He said, I seen geckos. We got the little ones around here. Look at that little bitty one there. This is just a little one, though. They don't bother you. You need them. But all that stuff, man, you're not ready for the province, man. And at night, there's no street lights. It's pitch black. You know, and like I said, people gonna know where to find you. If you get into trouble there, you'll sit and duck. And who wants to, the logistics here is one thing, okay? It's a problem. Who wants to go 2 hours to the grocery store every week? You make that treacherous 2-hour ride, go to the grocery, come 2 hours back. Who wants to do that every week? Not me. He said, I'm loving the hillbilly lifestyle. Sugarcane truck suck though. Yeah, you one of a kind, but I'm going to tell you something. You haven't been here long either, man. It just depends on who you are. But you come to San Carlos City enough and Dumaguete enough, because what you're doing, you can't get in the province, Saran, a lot. He's building a house here. You can't get anything where you are. That's one of the drawbacks of living in a province. There's nothing there. Everything you got to come out of there to get. If you need a bathroom towel, one of your bathroom towels chipped and broke, you got to replace that. You got to come all the way to San Carlos City or somewhere to get that. Okay, when it comes time for you to do your immigration, you got to come all the way to either Khalid or Dumaguete. I'm telling the new man, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. But thank y'all so much for your super chat, super stickers, all your thumbs up. Now see, thank you, Sir Ron, a lot. He says, I stayed in Darwin for 6 months before moving to the province. Yeah, see, you got a little time. You had a little time to get adjusted. I wouldn't move right over here. That's the problem Jim made. He moved right to the province. See, he doesn't even know it, but he moved in Tayasan. That's not a city, guys. I mean, that's not the place you want to be. And, he's going to, he's going to help a lot of people with that video because he's going to tell them what not to do. He's going to tell them exactly what not to do in that video. And those videos help just as much as any of the other videos. But I'll say this before I get off here. It's like he never watched a video on YouTube before. He just, met the woman, packed his bags and left. Because he did everything wrong, guys. So take care. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time. And don't do anything stupid.